Radio won't be the same, PM, Russell Crowe. Radio stars pay tribute to talkback icon John Laws. John Laws, the man with the golden tonsils, is being remembered as one of the pioneers of Australian talkback radio. The veteran radio broadcaster died aged 90. The broadcasting stalwart retired from Sydney's 2SM in November 2024 after a 13-year stint, but was arguably best known for his tenure at 2UE. Once described by Paul Keating as the broadcaster of the century, he was both loved and feared by prime ministers and premiers for his political pull. While his primary success came from the airwaves, he also lent his iconic voice to radio and TV commercials, and at times appeared on the small screen as a presenter and talk show panelist. He also released several singles as a recording artist and was a published poet. Ultimately, there was more to the man behind the golden microphone. Born Richard John Sinclair Laws in Wau, Papua New Guinea, in 1935, he was evacuated to Australia during World War II. As an infant raised in Sydney, Laws suffered 2 bouts of polio, yet he persevered and started as a teenage jackaroo in Wellington in western New South Wales after leaving school. He maintained he had no ambition to pursue a radio career and considered himself more of an entertainer, or on-air salesman, rather than a journalist. In 1953, Laws landed his first job in radio at 3BO in Bendigo, regional Victoria. By the 60s, he had transitioned to talkback radio, joining Sydney stations where he would rise to become one of Australia's most powerful broadcasters. Between 1979 and 1989, Laws would go on to make multiple major moves as part of a radio bidding war, shifting between 2UE, 2UW, and 2GB. Throughout the 90s, Laws was believed to be the country's highest-paid radio host, having reportedly earned $11.6 million in 1 year, according to the Australian Financial Review. It was his influence on politics, though, that made him equally well-respected yet feared by politicians. Laws was one of the few commercial radio hosts to influence public policy through interviews with federal and state leaders. He interviewed 17 prime ministers throughout his 7-decade career, his first being Robert Menzies, whom he described as a gentleman. Laws told the ABC's 7.30 report in 2017 that the prime minister he admired most was former Liberal leader John Howard. And, maybe the one that I've liked the most was Paul Keating, he added. He was a good bloke to have a bit of fun with, a bit outrageous. In 2003, Laws was inducted into the Commercial Radio Hall of Fame to recognize his 50th year on the airwaves. Reflecting on his success, Laws said his inquisitiveness enabled him to achieve things other radio broadcasters could not, but he downplayed his golden tonsils moniker.